How you doing? Good to see you again. As you could tell, I got a new kitchen now. So now we're going to be cooking again. I just want to show you something that we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to make veal stock. As you can see right here, I bought a whole leg of veal and some veal chops. The pomme de veau, one of the best meats you could buy. And with the bottom part of the leg, what we did is we're making Osso Buco. We're gonna make Osso Buco Milanese. Nice, fresh from scratch. We're gonna get into that later. Over here now, my beautiful wife. We got veal chops, pan fried. She's gonna be eating that in a minute. But to get back to business, great, I got a phone call. I'll call him back.
That's the Guardian.
So before I was so rudely interrupted, with the bottom leg, I also got some of the bones. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a veal stock. The veal stock is better than chicken stock. It's a lot healthier and lighter, and you could blend it with everything. Okay, and do me one other favor. You know, people when they make stock, they throw all the shit in it. Let me ask you something. Would you eat this? Coming in! Would you eat this? I wouldn't eat it. So why would you put it in your... Be quiet, please. We're filming. So why would you want to eat this? If you won't eat this, why would you put it in here? Then you're going to be eating it. So do not eat it, okay? Do not throw anything in there like that. So we're going to put some fresh tomato, onions, carrots, celery. And what I like to do is I like to sprinkle a little bit of salt on it to get the flavors coming out before we put it in the stock. We like to use a little bit of bay leaf. Bay leaf is known in Sicily as a cure for stomach cramps and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it's very good for you and it's healthy for you. We're going to use some peppercorn and then we're going to use some Himalayan salt. And then I'm also going to make some marinara, but that's a whole other stuff. So we're going to start with the stock and then I'll get back to you later. Ciao. Okay, this is how you make Osso Buco Milanese. Now, when you get your Osso Buco, normally you're supposed to put flour on it, but being the flour is not good for you, we're going to skip it. So, but what I like to tell you though is make sure that these are dry and pan them dry before you put them in the frying pan, because you have to braise them. And if they're not dry, I won't be able to stand here right now, I'll be running. So, you put a nice braise on them. After you put a braise on them, you put them back over here, follow me. Now the Milanese, you make it with lemons, oranges, fresh vegetables. I put a little bit of shallots in, and I put peppers, which are not supposed to be in there, but this is not Joey's cooking show, this is Angelo's cooking show. So that's what I do, and that's the way it is. That's all I can tell you. A little bit of celery. We're going to put this on top of that. I'm going to get the stock. I'm going to put some stock in there. We're going to bake it for about, it all depends on the size of the meat, but what I like to do is there's no certain time. Like I always tell you, there's no rule for nothing. You got to do what you do. You touch the meat, it should be about an hour and a half or so. Once the meat is nice and soft, don't wait until it falls off the bone because it doesn't have to fall off the bone. Okay, all these freaking geniuses, they're overcooking the meat. It's got to be soft, nice, tender to the touch and everything, but not fall off the bone. That means it's overcooked. Geniuses. Now, I'm going to put that on top of that. We're going to bake it, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Until then. After now, I put everything together. I sauteed a little bit the carrots and stuff like that just to give it a little bit more flavor. And another thing that a lot of people might not know. Could you please back up? Another thing you people don't know is this. They think, oh, this is the pretty side. Okay, the pretty side goes on the outside. No, there's a reason for this. This should go facing the food. Because what happens is this reacts like a mirror. All the heat bounces back and cooks your food better. Okay? That is why you put the shiny side on the inside. It's not for decoration. It's not for you to look at, hey, hello, I look sexy. Okay? I'll show you the end product when it's done. Alright. Don't tell nobody. My girlfriend's name is Lorraine. That's the one who got me this. Lorraine, this is for you, honey. Okay, now, to recap. Here's the veal stock. It's coming out beautiful. I mean, the smell is unbelievable. Too bad you can't smell it. Here's some marinara sauce. See that? No burn marks. And these things, when you're done, all you have to do is to let them cool off and put them away and save them. Now I'll show you something. Come here. All right. This was the leg of veal. As most of you know, I've been retired for about 8 years now. And all I can tell you is it's sad. Because today you walk into a restaurant, they got 30 people working behind the line to make everything full. They got to put a flour here. They went from teaching people how to cook and good food to buying products that are already pre-made and pre-cut, and then they hire people to just make food look pretty. That's not it. This is good food. This is where people used to, Italian restaurants used to get the veal from. Now they're buying crap. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I complain a lot. I'm just upset because, you know, we don't need to change everything in the world. You know, you can change a few things, but leave some things alone, like family and respect and common sense and the love for our nation and our country and flag.
And food.
Okay? And food should be left alone too. I mean, you can make a food, but don't get crazy. Now, you fillet a leg of veal. Let's say this was the leg. I already did some of it. And what I did is first you take off the skin on the top. Then as you butterfly it, you end up getting this part right here, which this is where your scallopini comes from. Okay? These knuckles is where you get, you supposed to make scallopini, which is what they give today. But this is not really good. This is pezzettino. Then when you open it up this way and you debone it, okay? Now you take out, bam, 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 bam. This is the bone. This is what you make stock with, okay? And now this is the whole leg. Now and if you pay, you know, not pay attention because obviously you haven't seen me do this, but if you look, all the meat separates on its own. You don't even have to cut it, some of it, look. You could just basically rip it apart. See? So, you know, people are, oh, it's hard to cut a leg of veal. Oh, it's so hard. There's something hard about it. Again, like I said, common sense. See all the beautiful pieces of meat? And, you know, different pieces. And then this is obviously this part right here. Okay? And then we have the hip right here. But I'll show you more as I break it down more and more. But like I said, look at this. You know, it's not that hard. But they rather invest their money on hiring kids and teaching them bullshit than doing the right thing. You know, this is real. Okay? Too bad that I could tell you right now, and I don't care where you go, I could guarantee you 95% of the restaurants do not use this. Even the good ones that you think they're really good, they buy it. They buy it already filleted, or they buy just the top round. But even buying the top round, it's not as good. Because this top round, look at this top round. This is one of the top rounds right here. This is your scallopini. You don't see any meat like this. Okay? Very rarely, unless they got an old man in there, like me, cutting the veal, it ain't happening. And besides that, they make it cheaper to buy the crap. But I never serve crap in my restaurant. I will not serve crap in my house. We'll continue this in a little bit. Alright, so, you know, they say knowledge is power. Some people say I talk too much. I call it intelligence. Okay? My nickname is Einstein, and if you look right over my entrance to my bedroom, there's Einstein. Now, come over here this side. I just want to say something about this leg of veal for people that are watching, if they have a restaurant or if they think opening up a restaurant. This is the best way to go when it comes to this meat. Because with just the scrapings, with just like all the stuff that I get, that I cut up, and all the pieces that are too hard that I make meatballs, I pay the leg of veal with just the scraps. The scallopinis are free. The parmesans are free. The spezzatino's free. And this is how you also serve good food. With the bones, you make a stock. There's a lot of things that come out of it. You make Osso Buco, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is that there is a veal filet mignon, which you never hear about, because it's like, it's non-existent, and nobody's ever really caught on to that. This is the hip bone that's right here. When you fillet it, this is where I took out the other bone. When you fillet it, there's just one little piece right here before the chops start, and once you clean it out, there you go. This is filet mignon of veal. My kids were raised on this meat, because when I used to work at Trattoria, and even at my father's place or whatever, what I used to do is every leg of veal, I used to take this, wrap it, and take it home. And I used to feed it to my kids. One of the best pieces of meat you could ever want to eat if you ever get a chance to experience it. And don't let nobody give you any bullshit. There's no bigger piece than this, okay? And then once you take this off, then you open it up over here. And this is the reason why a lot of people don't sell it, but they waste it by mixing it up and grinding it, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. This is also very tender and it's good. But here, this is the only piece of filet mignon you get. And a lot of people waste it. What I do is I cut it, and then when my kids come, I'm gonna make it for them for dinner. But this is the best filet mignon on earth. So, you know, I like to also teach people, like I said, anybody could cook, but not everybody is Einstein. So I got all the meat over here, and I'm gonna start filleting it up. And we're almost there. That's already done. We're gonna check at the bottom. I'll come back one more time, and then that'll be it. So now, once it's all cooked, you get all the bay leaves out. You get all the oranges and lemons. You get rid of them. Be careful because they're a little bit hot. Don't leave any in there, because if you leave them in there, once you process the sauce, then they're gonna taste better. So we don't want to have any of that stuff in there. Okay. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back because we have to process it.
Yeah.
So you put all your juices inside of the container. You put your Osso Buco on the side. Whoa! And as you can see, it can get a little bit messy if you don't have a big enough container. But this is why it's good to have a wife, so she could clean up after you. So what you do is you puree all the sauce, and put the sauce right on top of the Osso Buco. Then you get your Parmigiano Reggiano. Put a little Parmigiano Reggiano on top. And voila, you're done. Osso Buco Milanese. Now I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this because, as you can see, I still have a lot of work.